Conservatives should be classified as a hate group. It's not just the difference in political ideology. Conservatives are a dominant group of dangerous bigots, and they should be viewed as such.
What's going on, America? I'm the right-winged angel out of a Mac, and in this video, we got to talk about this deranged black liberal who says that conservatives should be classified as a hate group. Man, she gaslighting so much she could burn down a whole city. Let's check this out. All right, so first I'm going to play the video in its entirety, and then I'm going to play it again, and I'm going to stop it every now and then to debunk her outrageous lies.
What is your most radical belief?
Conservatives should be classified as a hate group. It's not just the difference in political ideology. Conservatives are a dominant group of dangerous bigots, and they should be viewed as such. First, let's examine the definition of a hate group. It is a social group that advocates or practices hatred, hostility, or violence towards a group based on race, sexual orientation, gender identity, etc. And in my opinion, conservatives, both politicians and citizens, meet that definition to a motherfucking T. They spread lies and propaganda to encourage discrimination towards marginalized communities. They use harassment, destruction, and violence to block attempts at equity and inclusivity. They draft legislation that directly harms minority groups. They call for the eradication of entire groups of people.
Transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely.
They seek to limit or restrict education, representation, mutual aid, public assistance, basically anything that encourages equity. They undermine democracy by attacking our right to vote. They use the police, another violent group, to facilitate the harm of black and brown people. They kill us and or justify our murders. And what is the most dangerous is that they largely run this motherfucking country. Some of them even wear robes. So by embracing the policy that's attached to conservatism, y'all are directly participating in the harm of marginalized communities, even if you aren't stringing us from trees like the KKK.
Are you done? Are you done?
All right, let's go ahead and destroy this woman. Y'all ever seen Men in Black? Don't she look like one of those creatures?
How you doing, fellas?
Never mind. All right, let's go.
What is your most radical belief?
Conservatives should be classified as a hate group. It's not just the difference in political ideology. Conservatives are a dominant group of dangerous bigots, and they should be viewed as such. First, let's examine the definition of a hate group. It is a social group that advocates or practices hatred, hostility, or violence towards a group based on race, sexual orientation, gender identity, etc. And in my
Oh, you mean like liberals who attack people who are white or people who are Muslim who may not agree with their LGBTQ agenda? Yeah, that's not a conservative trait. That's actually a liberal trait. Not many conservatives are out there attacking people based on those characteristics. It does not happen. But of course, people on the left like her will lie to you and make you think that that's going on when it's only happening in her head.
Conservatives, both politicians and citizens, meet that definition to a motherfucking T. They spread lies and propaganda to encourage discrimination towards marginalized communities.
And Democrats and liberals spread lies and propaganda to get people to attack and go against anybody who's conservative. This entire video is lies and propaganda.
Harassment, destruction, and
Okay, so they said harassment, destruction, and violence. Did we not remember the summer of love in 2020 where buildings were burned down, where people were beat up, where people were actually murdered because they had the wrong skin color? All that was liberals, not conservatives. If you're talking about, this she puts up here, Target. Just because somebody chooses not to buy from Target because they're pushing this LGBTQ agenda on children, is that a problem? Do we not have freedom of speech? Can you not visit places that you agree with and not visit places that you don't agree with? And then we have this article right here. Drag story time at Oregon pub draws gun-carrying protesters. There was no violence at this protest. There were just people there with guns. I've been to a protest where I've seen liberals carrying guns. Actually, at these drag queen story hours and these all-age drag shows, there were liberals who had AR-15s. So you can't say that only conservatives are carrying guns. You can't say that only conservatives are doing these things. People can carry guns to protect themselves. It is not a liberal or conservative thing to do. It is a smart thing to do when you have people that are going to try to harm you based on your political beliefs or based on the fact that you don't want people indoctrinating your children.
To block attempts at equity and inclusivity. They draft legislation that directly harms minority groups.
And she's not going to say anything about that because the legislation that they're drafting is to make sure that children cannot have irreversible gender reassignment surgeries or go on hormones at a young age, before the age of 18. Are you saying that only conservatives want to protect children?
They call for the eradication of entire groups of people.
Transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely.
They seek
look at what he said. Transgenderism should be eradicated. Transgenderism is a condition. Transgenderism is not a group of people. He did not say transgenders. He says transgenderism. So if you say we should eradicate cancer, are you saying that we should eradicate people with cancer? No, we want to eradicate the condition, not the people. See, lies and propaganda. That's all these people do. But they want to say that conservatives are doing that.
Or restrict education, representation, mutual aid, public assistance, basically anything.
Okay, they want to restrict education. Everybody keeps getting this wrong. Ron DeSantis did not say he does not want kids to learn about Black history. But of course, the left and liberals are going to say that he is. They're going to say that he does not want Black children to learn their history. He does not want people to learn the truth about the United States of America's history. Well, that is not the case because Ron DeSantis, they released a curriculum for the AP African American Studies, and the left has lost their mind about it because there's one thing in the curriculum, because it said that in some cases, slaves were able to use the skills that they learned as slaves for their personal benefit, which is the truth. Nobody's trying to restrict education. Nobody's trying to stop Black kids from learning about African American history. They're trying to get them to learn everything about African American history, all aspects of what happened during slavery, not just the totally negative aspects of it, but they want to show that, hey, despite everything that these people went through, they were able to use some of the things that they learned to their benefit. That just shows you how resilient the slaves were. That just shows you how the slaves did not have a downtrodden mentality to where, oh, I'm a slave or I was a slave, now I can't do anything. They took a bad situation and they made something positive of it by learning skills that they were able to use in their lives after slavery.
Encourages equity. They undermine democracy by attacking our right to vote.
They're going to keep saying this. That is a complete lie. When she says that Republicans or conservatives are attacking people's right to vote or attacking Black people's right to vote, what she's saying is voter ID laws are racist, just like a lot of liberals say. This is a big talking point for them. Voter ID laws are racist because Black people somehow can't find a way to get to a DMV, so they don't have ID. So when you have laws requiring someone to have an ID to be able to vote, you're attacking Black people's right to vote, which is preposterous. There's a ton of videos out there where men on the street ask Black people, can you get to a DMV? Do you have an ID? And all of them answered, yes, I have an ID. Why wouldn't I have an ID? You need an ID to do everything. But these people have been brainwashed by the media. Even this black woman is trying to say Black people are not smart enough to be able to find a location to get an ID, even though it's required to be able to do almost everything to be able to live life as a functional adult.
Use the police, another violent group, to facilitate the harm of Black and brown people.
Check this out. This picture right here, most likely in a Democrat-run city. These police officers, most likely Democrats, because the Democrats were the ones doing this back then.
They kill us and or justify our murders. And what is the most dangerous is that they largely run this motherfucking country.
They largely run this country. Well, who's in charge of this country today, ma'am? That would be a Democrat, Joe Biden. Who holds control of the Senate? That would be Democrats, aka liberals. So how are conservatives largely running this country? Because we have control of the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court does not make the laws, right? So what does that matter? These people are insane. They have no touch on reality. They really don't know what's going on. They just received their marching orders from their Democrat overlords, and they believe that they know any and everything about politics, but they know nothing. They don't know anything that's going on in this country. They have no grasp of what's actually happening in this country. They have this nightmare that is replaying in their heads over and over and over again that never happened, but they believe it happened for some reason. So this is insane because this person right here, her name is Chris the Author. She has over 1 million followers on TikTok. So this propaganda that she's spreading to a lot of people. And I guarantee a lot of her audience is probably white liberals.
Even wear robes. So by embracing the policy that's attached to conservatism, y'all are directly participating in the harm of marginalized communities, even if you aren't stringing us from trees like the KKK.
Okay. Bull. It's all bull. And I can't believe this woman has the amount of followers that she has, because the rhetoric that she's spewing is absolutely garbage. There's nothing that she says that has any merit. But of course, people are going to listen to her because people want to believe that this country is far worse than it actually is. There's nothing wrong with the United States of America. Race relations have gotten so much worse when liberals were in charge. Under Obama, race relations took a nosedive because liberals love racism. They always talk about how conservatives or Republicans are the racists, but liberals, they need racism to thrive because that's how they stay in power. They want black people to live in fear. They want black people to get their marching orders from people like this being, whatever you want to call her, who are ready to make black people live in fear based on propaganda and lies spread by the Democrat Party. You could do anything you want in this country, whether you're black, white, brown. All you have to do is get a plan, get some motivation, go out there and do it. There's nothing holding you back. No racist white boogeyman is lurking around every corner. And if there was a racist white boogeyman, I guarantee you he'd be supporting Joe Biden, not Donald Trump. What do you guys think? Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.